Okay, we have a few role plays over here that I'm going to separate into 4 groups. Okay, the first scenario is that listen carefully. Group number one, okay. Bargain for a lower price. You want to offer 1 million for property you wish to buy for your own stay, okay, own stay. The owner is asking for 1.3 million. There's a gap of 300K, yeah. You need to negotiate the price with the seller who is also eager to let go of the property. Understand the question? Okay, think about what to do. Okay, hold on first and ask the next group for the next scenario. Later you sit closer together, pull your chair, okay? Sit closer together so you negotiate it. Okay, what you need to do is that you have one person to be the buyer, one person to be seller. One is the owner, another is buying for your own home, okay? The other people give ideas because later these two persons are going to come out. Sorry, don't laugh, will pay, okay? I know you volunteer to do it, but don't be too happy first. I explain first. You need to come out and we'll pay it, show us how you're going to negotiate, okay? Yeah, so two of you smile, I think you want to buy and a seller, right? Okay, done. This group is done. Okay, next, we'll pay 2. Drive out competition. Okay, listen, you want to offer 1 million for property. This group, okay, behind here. You want to offer 1 million for property you want to buy for your investment, but the property agent asks you to offer higher. He's hinting that the seller is getting higher offers. For example, Desmond said I want to buy, but Vivian saying no because I know another party is offering more. Okay, over higher. So you need to drive the competition and bet the property. How are you going to negotiate with the seller through the property agent? Okay, do you know the situation? Yeah, is it somebody already offer higher? So can you hint that can you offer a bit higher in order to bet the property? But you really like to have it. You want to buy. Okay. Third scenario is ask for a better offer. Okay, the developer has some leftover units. It's very common actually these days. For a project being launched some time back, you want to get a better deal than the previous buyers who bought a similar unit for 1 million. For example, you want to buy it 900K, say. Think about the tactics and put forward your offer to the marketing agent. So how are you able to buy lower, convince the developer to sell it to you at a lower price than 1 million? So what are tactics going to use? Okay. The fourth one is negotiate for better terms. You are selling your property through the help of a property agent. He or she is asking for exclusivity and commission rate of 2% of selling price. Okay, you want to use the property agent, but he or she tell you that need 2% of the selling price instead of the 1%. How would you like to engage the service of this property agent? How are you going to negotiate for better terms? Okay, so that is negotiate with the property agent in this sense. Okay, one pretend to agent and another pretend to the owner. Okay. Yeah.
So I would like to offer $1 million for your property.
I want to sell at 1.3 million because the last transaction is around 1.2 million for a similar unit, and recent year I spent around 200K for the renovation. So I think 1.3 million is quite a good deal.
We have actually been shopping around within the vicinity as well. Actually, for this property, we have had a look at your area inside. We would like to actually re-renovate the whole apartment because I have a big family of 4 kids, so I want to actually partition the rooms and everything. They might have a ongoing and a new development coming on, and my unit here is a very good location and a very good school and a good facility around. So I still think 1.3 million is a very good deal. Yeah, so I've been looking around within the vicinity now. So I've actually shortlisted a few properties also. But the reason why I like this is because this is the closest to one of the top schools here. The thing is, the en bloc doesn't really matter much for me. I'll be indifferent because I plan to stay here for a long time, and I don't really wish to uproot my family again. It's a huge family, right? I have 4 kids.
I consider your family situation, or maybe we can come to a price that both of us satisfy.
I mean, if you're okay, we could settle for 1.1, and I can write a check to you the next day.
Okay, deal.
Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think you seldom find very so admirable buyer and seller, and then the seller seems to helping them with that. So maybe to him that it doesn't matter actually. You know, I'm really let go. Maybe like his 4 kids, so that's why it doesn't matter at all. But in real life situation, the thing is that the seller will definitely insist on 1.3, and then the buyer is not willing to increase his budget. Okay, so there you have a lot of reasons. But I think rather than focusing on personal reason, the better to put forward objective facts. You see, like for example, what was the last transfer prices? What's the market situation like? For example, your valuation that you would most likely be able to get so that you get a housing loan. And the thing is that why is the seller willing to let go at a lower price, and why is the buyer willing to increase the budget? Okay, there must be some reasons why, right? For example, the buyer may tell the seller that, hey, actually I already have approval in principle, and then I were able to get the transaction, the housing loan very easy, and the transaction may be run very smoothly. And then if you want the that you want to cash back early, and then I can actually ask the lawyer to shorten the transactions at 12 weeks, maybe like 10 weeks to get it completed, so you get the money faster, right? Because I already have a lawyer that working with me on that, so I'm able to do it with no problem. Or I already have the experience of buying another property, so this is something that's one of the properties that I'm doing. So I'm very experienced buyer, and then I can make sure that there's no hiccups in between, so that you won't have a lot of trouble. So you just save up your time and hustle dealing with inexperienced buyers, yeah, okay, with that sort of small difference. The thing is that when you're bargaining on, negotiating on price, don't just focus on the numbers like 1 million and 1.3, because as I told this group just now, if you always just target on the numbers, you would be stuck, you see, because both parties insist on a number. So go and look for all the other facts and all the other factors, and all the goodies you can provide, a value add you can put it on the deal before you come back to look at the number. That will be easier, because if you always just focus on the numbers, one insists on that most you can go to 1.1 and doesn't want to go to 1.2 and cannot go in between. You stop there and then you cannot close the deal. So a good negotiator would always look at the big picture and put other things on the table, so that you have the complete picture and get something value add on it. So that besides the number, what are other qualitative factors that you consider can make the other party make concession or change their mind? Okay, good. We have the next group.
Yeah, so I'll start. Yeah, so Liu Song, actually, I know you could offer 1 million, but are you able to do something higher? Because you said the owners actually received several offers, and we are looking at higher offer, but higher price.
May I know how many offer has already been given, and what is the exact offer that has been given to the seller?
Yeah, sure. So I spoke to the owner. He said that he's actually asking for a price of 1.3 million, and he's received several offers just in the past week, ranging from 1.1 to 1.15, and he wants to close the deal by the end of the month. So he's just looking at who can offer the highest bid to him.
You know my budget. To be honest, I only have 1 million. If the owner is willing to, is not going to accept at this range, probably I have not much to say. But to be honest, I've also shortlisted quite a couple of other units within the same area with better renovations, locations. Well, if I can't get this, I still have other choices, but I do prefer this because the neighbors, I like the neighbors, but you can try. And the other thing I can say, because I noticed this listing has already been the unit has already been the list for more than 6 months. I assume that seller has some unrealistic goal and expectations. Maybe what I can help her is to faster the whole process. I can even write the check now if she's agreeable with my offer?
Sure. Yeah, you're right. Some of the offers actually coming from foreign investors, so maybe they might take some time. So why not I take this back to the owner and see whether she can do something about it and whether she's interested in your offer of a faster repayment.
Thank you very much for your help.
Very good. Okay, thank you, thanks. Thank you. Okay, first of all, there are actually two things over here. The first of all, whether you trust this William, the agent, saying the truth, you see? Is that really another party is offering a higher price? Because I have experienced many times this kind of situation before, that they say somebody else is offering higher, can you offer higher? Otherwise you're going to lose the deal. That's usually at the time that you almost want to offer and close the deal, and suddenly there will be another party, I don't know whether it's true or not, will appear. Okay, so do you think that we should trust this guy? Because there's a risk of it, you see. If you trust this person and then you offer a little bit higher, then you end up maybe overpaying, you see. That means you are compromising your bottom line. But if you don't pay a higher price, if there's a real party over there, you risk the possibility of losing the deal, right? When you're so close to it, so the agent will say, hey, it's only, what's the 50K more or like 100K more if it's like 3 million properties, you see. That is nothing, you see. So just put it a little bit higher because it's covered by the loan anyway. So what's the big deal about this small amount? Sometimes they will say that. But it is up to you whether you should trust the agent or not, because the agent gets commission from the seller, but not from the buyer. So most likely, he will say he's nothing to lose because you offer higher, they get a higher commission, he get it from the seller. And the seller's happy, the agent happy, except you're paying a higher price, you see. So this is always a bet, whether you trust it or not. But I usually, because for my character, I would say no, because I think, this is my bottom line, so I'm not willing to do it. So because I believe there are lots of good deals in the market. I lose this one, I can have others, you know. So I don't want to overpay. But if you really like that property and that amount is actually not much to you because it only has a small percentage of the deal, so you may want to go ahead. It's up to you. Okay, so another thing is that if the deal, if it is not true, the agent will come back to you saying that, hey, you are lucky this time because the other party actually back out because cannot get the housing loan, or last minute have something on and go to another party or something like that, you know. So they decide not to do, and you're lucky that you can get this price. Then you have that, there's no harm. Okay, so it's whether as a buyer you can risk walking out of the situation with nothing. Okay, after so spending the time viewing and like the pace, because you imagine yourself staying there or owning that property already, and suddenly there's another party over high and grab the thing that you want. Sometimes for your self-esteem, you may not be able to take it because you think that belongs to you, but somebody come here and grab it. It's just the same thing as the situation in an auction, right? In an auction, you think you get it, but last time they say last call already, suddenly somebody put up the hand, you say you're wow, really fed up, you see, because I thought this belonged to me, and somebody of a high price. I immediately put my hand saying higher, you see. Okay, that is the psychological thing. So you need to think about it. Yeah. Okay. The third scenario.
So hi Simon, I have a look at the units and it has been TOB for a few years. I believe that the developer would be interested to get rid of the leftover units that has been put forth in the listing for quite some time. So do you think I can get a better price below 1 million?
Of course not, because the development has been very matured. You see there's an MRT, and opposite there's good schools, and you can see swimming pool, and you can jump the swimming pool immediately.
Well, I saw the units and it's next to a worship area, you see. So I wonder if I can get a better deal.
But when you go reservist, it's very fast. You have to be next door.
Worship area is not so auspicious.
Oh, okay. I can consider, but what's the best offer?
Well, I would like to offer about 980K because I already have approved in this principle. So I wonder if that is a good offer for your developer.
Oh, 980. I can consider, but I have 5 minutes. Are you getting 5 minutes or 1 minute? That's part of the deal.
Well, I have some connections. May be able to be like a top or group buyer, so we can have some buy that we can purchase, you know, in a big group.
I will consider. I will check my developer, but I like the deal. We can settle offline.
Okay, yeah, that's great. That's great.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. That's very good. Okay. Usually, the developer or the marketing agent will say no because by selling lower price to you, they also get less commission. Remember, but the thing is that getting lower commission is better than not getting anything. You see, so that is the mentality. You see, because if they need to maintain a chauffeur, it's very, very expensive. So they need to have the manpower over there, but these people actually, because they're not forgotten already, because the chauffeur have been there for so long. So that's why they also want to get rid of it, so that they don't have to every day stay over there and read newspaper and nothing to do, you see. So they also want to get out of there, get a commission, get something to get better than get nothing, and also move on to a newer project launch, you see. So that's why if you have some bargaining power, like for example group buy, for example, you'll be able to offer better terms for that to make the developer convince the developer to do it. It will definitely get what you want. Okay, so that's why it's important to meet few people who actually have the same goal to buy undervalued properties and then buy together. Okay, the last one is negotiating for better terms.
I mean, wow, 2%, that's a expensive commission. How do you justify the high commission?
Well, Andrew, thank you for getting in touch with me. As you know, I'm quite a renowned property agent in this particular area. Why is that the case? I actually grew up in this area, so I know this place in and out. And as for your development, I just live next door. So, I know time is money for you, and I'll be sure to get you a good deal to sell your property fast.
Okay, I was hoping to get at least 950. How much do you think you can get for this property?
All right. You know what? I had a look at your property, and I felt that it's a bit old. So it does require a bit of work. And what I can do in my line of business, I'm an agent, so I know a few good guys who can do a quick job on the property. I mean, it doesn't cost a lot, but just enough to touch it up, make it look good. And also, of course, the other thing I can do for you is, of course, market, have a wider outreach, and that's why I'm asking a bit more in the market. I'm aware 2% is a bit more in the market, but with my network, and also I know your area is also very popular with foreigners. I could actually put it out, in the foreign market too, and there will be a bigger pool of buyers.
Okay, if you can beat my price, if you can beat 950, then I can agree to your commission. If we're fall below my expectations, then I'm going to need 1%.
All right, I think that sounds fair enough for me, and definitely with the exclusivity and the trust that you have in me, I'm sure this will be a successful partnership. Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Very good. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you. Okay, this happens very often that the agent wants a high commission. Do you give or not give, you see? But you really like the service of the agent. So the thing is that there's nothing like you do your own duty. That means I expect 1 million and then you sell for 1 million and you got 2%. Because what's the difference of you and the other agents? Because the other agents just get 1%, right? So why do I need to give you another %? So there are two things. Are you able to sell it at a higher price, so it justifies more commission? Because if I want to sell it at 1 million, you sell at 1.1, I actually can justify to give you another 1% because I make more, isn't it? So you must have a tier structure. That means if you are able to sell it at 1 million, I give you 1%, 1.1, maybe 2%, 1.3, 3%. It doesn't matter because you're able to sell it at a higher price. I make more, you make more. That's fair, right? And the thing is that how fast can you sell it? Yeah, because I don't want it to be in the market, because the longer in the market, the lower deals I will get. And then I would be very desperate at the end, and I will let go at a very low price because I've been very fed up with it in the market for so long. So that's why it's important that you set a timeline. By this time you sell it at this price, I give you high commission. Okay, that's fair for both parties, right? Everybody's happy. Okay, so that is what do you can put on the table to justify that extra commission? That's a question that you should be asking. Okay. Any other questions concerning the negotiation skills? Is it fun? So now, those who come up and do the role play, you will remember a lot more, right? Because that is because you role play and then you will remember the thing, and then next time you're able to use the same tactic. Okay. Good. Okay. The last one I need to talk about is after you get the deal, you have to know how to engage upon the agent. You need to find a lawyer. So, okay, this lawyer, I have some experience dealing with them. So I actually have you using 3 or 4 before. This is the experience I get. You get accommodation from people you trust, but avoid any referral from mortgage brokers or property agents if you can. Why you cannot get the recommendation from brokers and agents? Why? Because for my first day in Mandarin Gardens, I made a mistake of getting a recommendation from the agent because the agent asked me, hey, you're first time buying. Do you have any lawyer? I say, oh, I don't have. Never mind, I have one, you know, that went quite good. I give you the number, okay? Or I ask the person to call you. See, I say, oh, that's good, you know, I no need to find, you know, and somebody already have a recommended one for me. But of course, they get referral fee, I'm very sure. You know why there's a conflict of interest over here? The conflict of interest is there because the agent, besides getting commission from your deal, also want to get referral fee from the lawyer. So if anything goes wrong, he would very much like the transaction go ahead. So for example, if it is not a rightful owner, if it is something wrong, the agent will also want it to get through because he needs to get the referral fee, right? There's conflict of interest. Another thing is that he gets referral fee. It doesn't matter whether the lawyer is a good or responsible one because he gets the money and he left already, so you cannot find him anymore, you see. So, and it turns out that the agent is very, very bad because they overcharge and then they have also hidden charges as well and they're not very responsible. And I need to chase them for a lot of things because I want to transition to the 10 weeks now 12 weeks. And takes me all the hassle of calling them, ask them, you know, because they don't get back to me on that. And there are hidden charges that I don't like. That's the worst lawyers I have used out of the 4 that I have used before. Okay. So don't make the mistake of getting referral from these people who are vested interest. Okay. Check before signing over the purchase for special terms and conditions. If you have special T's and C's, you must check with the lawyer before signing the offer of purchase, otherwise it's too late. Before you exercise the options, consult the lawyers. Always find them before you exercise the options. After you exercise, there's nothing much that they can do. There are 3 things that they will have you to confirm. Title of the property is in good order, seller is a rightful owner, and seller has the right to sell. These are the 3 key things for the lawyers that they have to do. So that's why they have to go to order databases, find out everything, and then have proof to you whether these 3 things are in order. Remember that the lawyer, the convincing lawyer, just do the last part of signing on the document. The person you deal with day in and day out is the paralegal. You know who is a paralegal? Paralegal is somebody, they're not lawyer, but they work in a legal firm, but they liaise with customers like you because the legal firm is very busy. They have a lot of customers like you, you know, they handle a lot of transactions. So they will use a paralegal. Paralegal sometimes called the business development manager. It's called paralegal. And they liaise with you. They make sure that they remember that on the important days like exercising the option, the handover, and before the handover, you come to the office to sign all the documents and pass them the check and everything. So they also liaise with the lawyer on the other side, on the seller or the buyer side. Okay. So this is the thing that they do. So this paralegal is sometimes more important. What I feel personally is much more important actually than the lawyer who you engage with. So you should feel comfortable not with the legal firm, but working with this paralegal. So I have found a paralegal that I really like working with her, and then because I find her very responsible, I have best experience with another legal firm that there's a lady. So actually no discrimination against age, but this lady that maybe because of age and she actually have forgot a lot of things. She even forget the days about handover and also exercising the option. I'm the one who called her, you see. It's really bad. You know, what happened, you miss the day, you know, the other party can sue me. You have failed to do so. But as a lawyer, you are a paralegal, you are supposed to remember those days and contact me and let me know rather than I remind you, okay? So to play safe, mark all the days of exercising option and handover. Mark all the days in your calendar in red color so that beforehand you remind them if they don't call you, okay? So you might have all the paperwork done, signing, everything, handing of the check before the handover day, which is very important. Okay, this is the process of doing that. I don't go into details, you can read it on your own. Basically, you pass through all the 10 steps before you finally, from the drafting and viewing of the option to purchase to completion of the sale, okay? So completion of sale is to hand over the key, things in good order. So the lawyer will meet up with you. if you are the buyer, and then you go to the place and collect the key, or they give it to you if you are not available. So you check everything is in order. That means what you have specified in your agreement, or when you go and view the place, you know, the things like make sure that no big items are missing. Like sometimes you find out that how come there's a one room is missing because they pull out a partition or whatever, or some important things that's supposed to be there and not there. So you have to see and then have to tell your lawyer if something is not in order. Anything that's sent to you to email, the lawyer will be by right need to send it to you by mail in hard copy as well, so that you have a proof. Okay, and keep all these documents. Okay, this is the offer to purchase sales completion. I classify into uncompleted properties, that means new launch, and resale or completed properties. So if you're buying for new launch, 5 to 10% booking fee, 20% less booking fee for when you sign the sales and purchase agreement. After you sign the sales purchase agreement, this is considered to be, that means you actually agree to buy the whole thing. Nothing can be changed afterwards. Option to purchase, if you decided to not to buy after option to purchase, the developer will have the right to forfeit their option money. Okay, but the thing is that if you sign a sales and purchase agreement and decide not to go ahead because you cannot get the bank loan or whatever reason, the developer has the right to sue you. So be careful that you didn't complete the transaction after you sign. The same thing as sign the option after you exercise the option. If you don't complete the sale, the other party have the right to sue you. So be careful. So option to purchase is a very important thing. It's the same as sales and purchase agreement. Okay. Okay, so usually for on completion day, we're within 12 weeks from the option date. That's the whole process. That's why it takes almost 3 months to do the thing. You want it to be done earlier, because for me, because I buy for investments, I always tell the other, tell my lawyer to ask the seller whether can hand over to me in 10 weeks time. Because to me, from the day that I commit it to the day I get it, in between that I already invest the money. So I want to return as soon as possible. That means I want to get my property earlier so that I can touch it up and rent it out as soon as possible, so that I can have an immediate return. You see, I don't want to wait for another 2 weeks, because to me time is money. Okay, that's all I have for today. Any question from you? Okay, thank you very much again. So nice to have you in the last buying my first private property workshop. Hope you find it useful, and do fill up your feedback form and pass it over to me. I hope I can see you again in the last workshop on how to buy good quality properties. It's on July 21st. Thank you.